The government just showed us a ton of photos of UFOs, okay? But there's a lot to unpack with this. Do you believe these are legitimate photos? Do you believe this is just a distraction? During this video, I'm going to pop up these photos that I'm talking about here. A lot of people are also saying, with all the AI that's out there today, how do we know this isn't just AI photos? How do we know they didn't just cherry pick these photos? Like, these photos were just enough to give us like what we wanted, but not enough to confirm the existence of UFOs for real or aliens, for what they are. Like what is actually behind these crafts, piloting these crafts. These photos are neat. I mean, some of these photos are even from the moon landing. That's the supposed moon landing that we did. So all the way back then. Apparently, like during the mission, they were seeing these lights and just were not talking about them on the live stream. Supposedly, if you believe that we ever actually, did all that. And then a lot of people were saying these are all distractions from the Epstein files and distractions from, this and that and everything else. It's just a lot of stuff going on with UFOs and aliens this week. Donald Trump at the White House said, hey, we're going to release these files. And then they did. And this came right after we learned that a bunch of youth pastors and church pastors that have big social media followings or that lead at mega churches were invited to this government meeting. This is not a myth or conspiracy. Tons of them got on the internet and told exactly what happened. They said that they should be preparing their congregation about the possibilities of UFOs. Was this why that they were being told that by the government? Because apparently the government was worried that the religious people were going to freak out. Is this why they were doing that? Or is there something bigger coming? With all the missing scientists we see and the missing Chinese scientists that we're seeing, the numbers is up in the 20s now of missing scientists, both in the United States and in China. And there was an investigation launched on that, and that we still have not heard the results of yet on why these people have gone missing or deceased. So we're still waiting for that. These UFO files, those, I think they said something like 400 and some odd images were released. Super interesting, super neat. This is all stuff that we've seen before. Like a lot of those photos and a lot of those videos have been leaked to the internet before. And what's crazy, what I like about that though, is in the past, some of these photos and videos, like the one where the UFO is weaving in and out of the windmills, so many people in that video first came out years ago were like, oh, this is fake. This is, some CGI thing. And now the government's going, no, that was a real unknown, like that came from the military. We do not know what that was. So I'm glad that is confirming some of that, because a lot of times you'll see like UFO photos on the internet and you don't know where they came from or the source. At least this time we know the source, right? These are all photos that were taken by the government, one way or another. It's we're going to hear more about it. I'm sure. I'm sure they're not just going to photo dump us then walk away. At least I hope not. But essentially, they're not saying that UFOs or aliens are real. They're saying these are 400 plus images that we have researched thoroughly and we can't explain what they are. It could be something we misidentified. It could be, a perfectly logical thing that we just don't know that it was that. But these are the things that are classified under unknown, which is cool to think about. It's cool to finally see them admitting, hey, there's stuff that we don't know about. If you like these kind of podcasts and these weird, creepy stories and conspiracies, follow our podcast on Spotify and Apple Podcasts. It's called Matt from Nomads. We'd love to see you over there for our longer, in-depth episodes.